Hello everyone, I thought I'd start a new series where I talk about underrated movies. So films that are either underrated when they came out and critics didn't like them even though they're good films, or films that people liked at the time but nobody really ever talks about anymore. So I thought I'd start off with Westworld by Michael Crichton. He's the guy who wrote Jurassic Park, and he wrote and directed this. And basically Michael Crichton's a big fan of rewriting the same story over and over again, basically rehashing it but changing a slight thing. So before he did Jurassic Park, he did Westworld. And Westworld is about robots in a theme park that go and kill people, not dinosaurs, but other than that it's not much different. But it's a lot more interesting as a film than Jurassic Park. So basically what Westworld is about is there's like this sort of theme park resort place in the future called Delos. And like the really wealthy go there basically to live out power fantasies. So it's full of robots that people either have sex with or they shoot or they stab or whatever. It's all about like gluttonous lifestyle that people pay super money for. And basically our two main characters go to this place on holiday. I don't think it says how long they're actually going for. And as they're there, things start to go wrong. And Yul Brynner plays the gunslinger who's on the cover, and he's like the main robot who starts chasing down and killing people. But a lot of the other robots do it as well, but our main characters are pursued by this guy. So this came out before the Terminator and is evidently a massive influence on the Terminator. It was also the first film to have digitised images. So basically when he's chasing them he gets like this sort of pixelated view where things glow and stuff like that as a display on it. And that was the first ever film to have digitised images. It was also the very first film to mention a computer virus, which is one of the theories on why the robots go crazy. This has been parodied in a lot of things. The Simpsons had an episode, I think Itchy and Scratchy Land, which is based on this. And also what's interesting, which I didn't even know about till I rewatched it the other day, is that HBO are doing a TV series based around this with Anthony Hopkins and Ed Harris in, so who'd have thought. So yeah, but for the most part, if you mention Westworld, nobody knows who this film is, even though it's really good and everyone should watch it. So it starts off, with everything going right, and it's just showing you what the theme park's like, and it's sort of got a western soundtrack, and it's just like basically a western. They're getting into barroom fights, they're having gun matches, running around on horses, and then that's when things start to go wrong, and then it gets almost a bit like a horror film. It's like a thriller. You have all this sort of creepy synth music come in, and he's like pursued non-stop by Yul Brynner. You see some of the other bits, Medieval World and Roman World a bit, but Roman World was evidently filmed just at a mansion, so it's not in many scenes because it's not a proper set. And Medieval World I think was just filmed on the soundstage somewhere, so it's not in it as much either. The main bit's Westworld, where they have like a reproduction, reproduction like Wild West town, frontier town. There's a lot of plot holes in this film if you get too far into it. Basically, they have guns that you can't shoot the other guests with because they have heat sensors on, but you can shoot a robot with it. But the problem with that logic is maybe it'll work for guns, but in Medieval World, why can't people stab each other with swords and stuff like that? There's lots of things that there's plot holes, but you shouldn't think too much about those and not enjoy the movie. So I'd highly recommend Westworld, and it would be interesting to see what the TV show's like when that comes out this year.